And my mic was being on a wait list for me muted. I'm doing this from my cell phone because my computer is just a mess. And we can get started. Sorry that I'm a little late here. Just put your questions in the chat. I was muted, Grace. That's why I was talking on mute. That's why you couldn't hear me. Um, but yeah, just put your questions in. Oh, I can actually see them here in this app, so that's perfect. Yeah, load your questions up. Maybe I can put in my earpiece. It's noise canceling. It might be better. Can you? Okay, great. So just put your questions in the chat, and as your questions come in, I will do my best to go in order of the questions. Oh no, I was not going to cancel. A commitment's a commitment. All right. So you all going to start putting your questions in. I'm going to spray my space with some rose water. If you hear a slight buzzing in the back, it's my fan. Oh, this is so beautiful. Okay. JV is first. You're waiting to hear back from an interview presentation I had last week. Will they offer me the role? Okay. Uh, I don't know why I feel called to do an oracle message from the Faces of Oshun deck for you, JV, and then I'm going to look in the tarot. Did I bring the angel answers and the angel answers? Um, I think first we might want to look at how well you did in your interview presentation, and then based on that performance, will they call you back? Um, let's start with your oracle card. I really use this deck, so I'm gonna give it a good shuffle. All right, dearest Oshun, any message for JV about her career journey, her interview presentation, anything she must know at this time? Oh, wow. Wow. Congratulations. Seems like you, I don't know if you took that offer, but congratulations. I'm glad the reading was accurate for you. Dearest Oshun, any messages you have for JV at this time? I felt a connection between you and her. Look, just popped out on me. Queen of Mercy, compassion, forgiveness, and empathy. This is beautiful, by the way. Um, it looks like JV, you have, I don't know if you can see the card, but it looks like you have like a connection to the divine source. And I mean more of the universe. Um, I believe, I don't know, there's a lot of different gods. I don't know which one you believe in, but the universe itself wants to pour out a blessing to you. I just believe it's like just you either asking sincerely of the universe, that's what it seems like, maybe from your heart. You can do it in a meditation, you can write a letter to the universe, but something you have to pour out that comes from you. And then, like everything you see here in terms of abundance, the universe is ready to reward you with that. And it's not only like riches in terms of money, but it's like peace, a sense of stability. If you're a person you don't like to move around a lot, maybe you'll find that one good place you can put down roots forever. But I just see abundance in many forms, and the biggest one is just happiness, health, and stability. And it's like you, the universe is like waiting for you to pour something out from yourself that's truthful. Um, you can say that, maybe you haven't had the career you thought you would have and that you're destined for. Speak from your heart. Tell the truth to the universe. And the most be honest, but be respectful and be sincere. Is what this card is telling you. And I'll also check from the book as well. Because it's like whatever you're doing, look at her face. She's doing it like with love and compassion. It's not from a place of anger. So any type of spiritual work you do has to always be from that loving energy that you have. Because it is obvious that you have that. Oshun of Mercy. What number is this card? 26. That's number 8. The number of infinity. Yeah. That makes so much sense with your message. Because 8 is a number of not only protection but infinity. So it's like whatever you're gonna have, it's gonna be stable for like a lifetime. Um, it says, "Have mercy. Forgiveness is your greatest tool. By forgiving others and most importantly yourself, you liberate your spirit from the chains of resentment and judgment. The act of forgiveness does not condone past actions or excuse wrongs, but it releases you from their grip. It is an act of self empowerment, enabling you to reclaim your peace and serenity." Didn't I say that it looks like a part of what you will receive is peace, health, all of that stuff? Um, Forgiveness holds the key to unburdening your soul and fostering deeper connections in your relationships. So that will be great. Yeah, it's like you have to be gentle with yourself and give yourself compassion. And like the energy I'm getting here is that maybe there are things you were called to do in your life and opportunities and gifts the universe did present to you. And maybe you did not see them. Sometimes we reject things because we don't really see what we're receiving. Or sometimes we focus on what we didn't receive and we're not paying, like the Four of Cups, we're not paying attention to what is waiting for us. And maybe you've experienced that, but it's like you can't cry over spilled milk. You can't beat yourself up about what was overlooked or lost or not taken advantage of. Give yourself grace. It happens. Now you're clear. You're going to move forward in that clarity and attract everything to you. But let's check the tarot for your question. All right, Jaleesa, welcome. We do have a line. We're going in order of question received. So thank you for submitting your question. I think you might be the third person, but I'd have to check the chat before confirming that. Okay, so let's see. Oh, you did take the opportunity in the meanwhile. That's excellent because that's very Four of Cups. There's something we may want more of, but then the universe presents us with something, and then sometimes we deny it. We end up more stuck than before. But you did take it. Very smart girl. It's like you passed your tests. Because maybe you've been in that, like I said before, maybe you've been in that cycle before where something did not present as what you wanted, so you turn it down. And sometimes it can create challenges, you know? I think we've all been there in some way, or shape, or fashion. Okay, let me. I don't know why I'm called to spray my cards, but I'm gonna do that. Okay. Ah, angels of the celestial realms and the universe, because you're very kind. Please show me in JV how did she perform in her interview presentation? First question: how did she perform? How did JV perform in her interview presentation? How did JV perform in her interview presentation? Okay, I always cut the deck in half and choose from the middle because the middle is like the present time. So I always choose from the middle. First card. Oh wow, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Like you did an outstanding job. You did an outstanding job, and it looked like you. I mean, I don't know what type of company or corporation you interviewed for, but it does look like you like hit all of the hallmarks of what they represent and stand for, and like what their legacy is. So I do see that. I do see this being fantastic for you. And I don't know if you ever thought about entrepreneurship, JV, but I'm just getting that vibe here. Like that's also in your destiny. But maybe you'll make more contacts and network through some career avenue that'll allow you to be able to have your own business one day. But I see whatever it is, it's going to be like lucrative legacy money, something you can pass down, or the company that you're with is very family oriented, something that someone built that they just continue to pass, that continues to live beyond their time. Because it looks like whoever built this is either gone, like they've died already, or maybe they're getting ready to cross that line in the near future. But it looks like whatever they built was made to last. A lot of sustainability. I do see that. And I do see the competition. But you did excellent. You did very well. Let's see the next card. Okay. So the universe is saying like do not mentally stress yourself out. You know, you outperformed yourself in the best way possible. Now you rest and let it be. Let the energy be. Like right now you need to rest your mind and just replenish yourself. Maybe you spend some time visualizing, attracting, but just let it be. You did what you showed up to do, you did what you came to do, and you did it in the best way you knew how. And your results by far were outstanding. So give it a rest, especially in terms of your mental energy. It looks like you did do good, but there you are fighting against the competition. It's very competitive. Like you have to stand your ground. And it was noticed that you were able to stand your ground. I don't know if you're a fire sign, but you have like, or maybe a Scorpio. I don't know, but or Capricorn, but you have that like discipline and that oomph. So like, and even Aquarius people and Cancers don't sleep. You know, but yeah, you were able to definitely hold your own. And I think some of the poking probably came from the people in the room, but they didn't do it to upset you. It wasn't anything personal. I think they just really wanted to see how you could handle pressure and if you're able to stand on your own. And you did just that. So congratulations to you on that. Oh, you're Aquarius. See, I had a feeling. And Cap Rising. That's no joke. Yeah, they wanted to test you. They were testing you to see like how do you handle being under pressure. It was nothing personal. Um, but you held your own. You held your own. And maybe there was like three questions that were like probably difficult to stand on, but you stood on it. And they know that they were being difficult. They just wanted to see how you would handle that difficulty. But there were three that really stood out that maybe you weren't too sure of how you handled it. You handled it well. They know that it was super difficult when they threw it. It was intentionally difficult when they threw it at you. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna shuffle again because I want to see what the outcome will be. I do see two offers. I don't know how this happened. I literally picked up the cards to shuffle, and I'll show you what happened. These two knights came out, and they're back to back. The Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. So there are two offers on the way, but they're smaller offers. I don't know what kind of maybe there's a smaller offer with the opportunity to be promoted like in the near future. That's what I see. But with the Knight of Pentacles, he's very slow. It's a very slow moving card. So they could be still looking at other candidates before they make an offer. But I do see two offers on the way. So I don't know if these are two other jobs you applied for. They have different energies to me, so they're not like the same thing. But I do see two offers on the way. And maybe you need to think about what you're gonna do. What if they both show up? What are you gonna do? You know? My advice, just knowing the cards, I would probably take the Knight of Pentacles because even though he's the slowest moving card in the deck, he's the most reliable. And whatever he builds, it's meant to last. Kind of like what we saw in the Ten of Pentacles. So that kind of confirms that. With the Knight of Cups, as charming as he is, he's just charming. He may say a lot of nice things and offer a lot of nice things, but may not have the follow through or may not be what you expect. So that's kind of the energy the Knight of Cups bring. Very charming. He means well, but delivery, nah, I don't know. So if it's something that will create stability, will be more long lasting, that'll be great. And if you combine the energies, like if you take this thing that's a little slower, it can lead to like some sort of promotion. Or if not a promotion because they're both knights, maybe you can transfer into something else, like on the same level, but something else a little different, maybe a little easier. All right, but let's see the outcome of this. All right, dear God in heaven, dear angels, dear universe, and the ancestors of JV, the good ancestors and deities of JV. What will be the outcome of this very competitive interview? What will be the outcome? I have a good feeling. At the bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles, maybe the person in charge or the owner, um, and the Magician. That's you. It's like you made it. It's like you made it happen. Looks like they like you. But let's see what the cards say. Okay. Um, the first card I see is the Eight of Swords energy. So you're gonna feel that like you're not gonna have a response for some time. You're not gonna have a response for some time, but I'm gonna put that upside down. I don't like that energy. I'm gonna put that upside down. So maybe you can just it's like you're expecting a response soon, like maybe within a week. Maybe they told you that. I'm not sure. But it looks like the next week. But it looks like they're gonna drag this out. But I put the card in reverse to hopefully shift that energy. I do see celebration, good news. Or maybe they're gonna come down to three people. I don't know how many openings they have for this, but maybe it's gonna come down to like a chosen few. And then like right now they're still like looking at all the options. But this card is like a warning for them. They're looking at all these options when they already have a solid group that they can move forward with. But are they gonna do that? I don't know. Let me pull more cards to see. Again, I do see an offer. This is coming from a woman, a Queen of Wands. So I guess a girl boss coming in with the offer. Um, but I don't know if it's something you're gonna want to do. Again, with that Knight of Cups, it may not be something you want to do. Maybe it's gonna require you to be up late, or you're gonna be super stressed at work. Something about this offer feels off to me. But I do see another offer coming in. But are you gonna get it right now? There's a non-answer. They do have a great group that they can move forward with, but unfortunately, they're stuck in their decision making. Um, they're stuck in their decision making, looking at all these options that are not gonna work out. Not going to work out because all these options they're looking at, they all have something wrong. Maybe someone has a criminal record. Maybe someone has like they're missing something in their skills or their experience or their education. So they're wasting their time. It's like I don't know how they're selecting people, but they're not filtering the process properly. Because if they were, they wouldn't feel stuck and they wouldn't be confused by options because they'd realize they have the solid group that they're looking for already. And that this group will work exceptionally well together. That sounds like your current one. Let me Oh, I think you mean like this. I think I know what you mean. I think you're saying this combination sounds like your current one. I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah, but the one you're waiting for, it's like some delay. It's a delay. It's a delay. Because they are still going through their selection process, but their strategy sucks. I'll just say that. Like they have a winning team. Go with the winning team. What are they still looking for? I'm gonna turn that upside down. I'm gonna turn this stressful situation for you upside down as well. May you be released from that. Not say be released from your job, but may you be released from this mental state. It's like messes with your sleep cycle. I don't know if you work at night or, but it messes with you at night. Maybe you don't even realize it. Like if you can't sleep well and maybe things are happening at night, it's like this situation. But keep looking because you do have to leave this soon because what I do see is like gonna start bothering your like the way you digest your food, like or have an indigestion or something like that, or reflux things coming back up, all because of this like source of stress, especially at night. So just be careful with that. Yeah, the new job, they're just dancing around. Um, but I hope I answered your question. Oh, before I move on to the next person, we see how I turn this energy around from their indecisiveness. Maybe that's what you could talk to the universe about. Like, make it happen. You had the magician card. Make it happen. That's what it is you have to do. You have to make this happen by doing your little spiritual homework and sauce behind the scenes. Um, Definitely talk to the universe. 'Cause that came out crystal clear in the cards. I don't know if you believe in Oshun, but if she wants to help you, she can. If that's something you're comfortable with, and if not, then don't. But definitely the universe is in control of everything, and it's like you have the power to make this happen. Maybe you can do some meditation where you untangle their mind and let them see like they have the best that they're gonna get, and send them a message. Choose us. Choose us. Choose me. Say your name. Send it to the interviewer's mind. Send it to the hiring person's mind. Like you have to do some magic. You have to do some magic to make that happen. All right. I'm gonna move on to the next question, JV. If you have another question, I'll be on maybe for like another hour. So if you have another question, you can put it in the chat. All right, let me see who's next. Okay, Grace is next. Will my brother repay me the money he owes me? I loaned it to him in good faith, and he has not repaid. Unless I say won't, because we want that. You want that money back. So he has not repaid. Uh, he has not yet repaid. I'm struggling because you have legal fees and rents, and your work hours were reduced, and yeah, you're concerned about your finances. Um, you're gonna be okay financially. I don't know when, but eventually you will be okay financially. But let's see. Let's take this one piece at a time. So, one second, Grace. Okay. The angels in heaven, the celestial beings. dear God, dear universe, dear all the benevolent ancestors of Grace and her family, and all the deities and guardian angels assigned to Grace. Please show us the truth and nothing but the truth about this message. Will Grace's brother repay her the money he borrowed and owes? Will Grace's brother repay her the money he borrowed and owes? Will Grace's... Ooh, uh-oh. What's this? Okay. 1 second. Something fell. The answer fell. Let me just go grab it. So the Ace of Wands flew out the deck in reverse. So the answer is like no, but we're gonna flip that back around because we need this to be a yes. Um, the seven of the seven of swords also came out in reverse. Maybe he does have a sneaky tendency or ways of borrowing and not repaying and getting away with it, but for some reason, not this time. I don't know. It's probably different, but not this time. Not this time. I do see that he's not going to be able to get away with it this time. Is he trying to get away with it? Oh, absolutely. But he's not going to get away with it. He's not going to get away with it. But this came out in reverse. Like in terms of the wands are actions. In terms of his actions, he has no intention of wanting to pay that back. I'm gonna keep this in reverse because this flew out in reverse. Like he's not gonna get away with it this time. Um, let's see what else comes out here. Oh, I do see money being coming your way. But I don't know if this is what he borrowed from you or some new opportunity, some new money you have coming in. You didn't get it yet, but it's like maybe behind the scenes being worked out or in the ethers of the invisible realms that's being worked out. You don't see it yet, but it's coming. And I think it may even be a new opportunity, a new job, because I do see the road is open for you. Or maybe you're being encouraged by the invisible forces to go after a new opportunity, because I do see that. But I do see it's like some money is coming your way. Absolutely. But also the road is open for you. So it's like maybe you have to invest it wisely. It's like something is open for you. So you're gonna be fine. Um, but let's see about your brother, because what the heck? Sorry, I saw something interesting in the cards, but I think we can explore that a little bit later. Maybe I don't know, Grace. Are you in a new relationship, or you're looking at a new relationship? Because it's saying right now you need to take your time. Take your time. It needs to be all about you right now. You need to pamper yourself, love yourself. I'm not saying you don't, but like it's like you need to be selfish and spoil yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't rush into anything. Not saying there's something wrong with the person, but if they're cool about it, it'll happen when it's supposed to. Right now you gotta take your time and take care of yourself. Step by step. One step at a time. Don't go rushing back into the dating scene at this point. You can and you'll meet somebody for sure. But the best thing for you to do according to what I'm seeing in the cards is just, do you. All right, let me see what's going on with this brother of yours. Oh Lord, are you gonna take legal action against him? Came out the Ace of Sword, which and the Ace of Sword could be like filing court papers. Filing court papers. Maybe he's gonna have to be forced. That's what it is. Because you have the two aces and this trickster in the middle. It's like he's gonna be fool. He's gonna be forced to have to pay the money. That's why he's not gonna get away with it. It's like whatever's wrong is gonna be made right. Um. Wow. You have a good reading, Grace. It says here this is you, the Queen of Pentacles, and it's cautioning you, be very careful with your money. You don't have to be generous with yourself, be generous with your future, be generous for the things you want to do and achieve. It's time for you to water and tend to your own garden. Do not tend to anybody else's garden. This is Grace growing her garden, and that's all Grace is thinking about. No more handouts, no more freebies. That's done. You have to tend to your own garden. And if you do that properly and appropriately, what I do see here with this card is that you're going to grow to be a very old lady with a lot of money and with a lot of stability. And you're not going to have to worry about like working at an old age or, how you're going to live on a fixed income. Like, it's all about you, Grace. It's the card to saying you got to be selfish right now. You've done what you could for others. Now Grace is tending to her own garden. Um, I think this might be your child. I don't know how old your child is, but maybe they're gonna get some award at school, or maybe they're getting good grades, or some sort of popularity, making a team of some sorts. But or maybe she's a little spoiled. I'm sorry to say that, Grace. Sometimes this could represent a spoiled child, but I do see like an award. That's more of the vibe I'm getting. I don't know if she had like a graduation ceremony or something going on in school, but I see like a reward and an award, like for just being top tier. She's 10, but she's that girl. So she's that girl. But I do see like some sort of like award for her. Wow. And she's going to be very proud of herself. Maybe it's still to come. Because with the wands, the Six of Wands, maybe this is still to come. Maybe within the next year, or maybe in next June, or whenever they celebrate the children for doing good in school or something like that, she's going to have like high honors or something like that. She's gonna do really good in school or have a better time around maybe this year than last year. So, um, and I see like an outpouring of blessings for you. It's like once you learn your lesson and tend to your garden, Grace, even with your child, I know she's 10 and she needs all of mommy's support. But as she grows older, you're gonna have to set limits and boundaries with her too. When it comes to money, and teach her all the right things she needs to know about her finances, because you have to be left with something for the years you have where you looks like you're gonna live a very long life, Grace. And for the years you're gonna be here, you're gonna have to survive that and not struggle. Maybe that's gonna be your blessing. You get to go up to live a long life and not really have to struggle. There's a lot of elderly people that struggle with housing and um, health insurance. And we're human, we're gonna have challenges. It's a part of life, but you don't have to have certain struggles if we plan accordingly. And it looks like that's your blessing. But I do see a pouring out from the universe to you. I don't know, maybe you're a Christian or Catholic, or maybe might even be Jewish, because I do see the Holy Spirit here, But I see like communion style thing. So I don't know. But whatever it is, if you have some sort of prayer or blessing or something you say to the Holy Spirit, you can say that, because it'll be like you showing the highest form of gratitude that you can show. Yeah, well, I hope that answers your questions. Your brother will be forced to. Does he want to pay back? No. Is his intention to pay back your money? No, he does not intend to, but he will be forced to. So there's that. You talk to God all the time. That's great. That's great. You're spiritual and you believe in God. Yeah, that shows. Because this is the card of the spirit. Wow, this is so beautiful. Grace, are you still able to have children? I don't know if you can still have a child, but maybe you're gonna have another one, or maybe adopt. But I see maybe it's gonna be like another girl, maybe a baby. I don't know. Or maybe someone close to you's gonna have a girl. Or maybe it's gonna be a grandchild in the future. That might be it. But I do see another child that's coming through. Um, I see another child coming through that's meant to be a part of your family. Very blessed child. Like that child is really meant to be here. This is really beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay. Um, I'm trying to see if it's maybe your next. I think that's gonna be a grandchild, Grace, in the future. I don't know why she showed up here already, but a beautiful baby girl, very spiritual, very gifted, very angelic. Maybe she's gonna be grandma's baby. That happens sometimes. Not saying you'll be the full time parent, but sometimes that happens. You know, the child just falls so much in love with the grandparents that becomes the mama. All right. Wow. All right, Grace. If you have another question, you can add it. Um, Let me go up. I know we had another question by someone else. Jaleesa. Jaleesa Gibson. Will you get the job at Publix Warehouse as an environmental senator? Okay. Wait, let me clear the energy, Jaleesa. Just 1 second. And you know what I just saw in my mind, Grace, with that six of wands? Yeah, you're gonna be awarded something. You're gonna get noticed of an award. Like you said, it might be your uncle's thing. Maybe the next 6 days, 6 weeks, or 6 months. That's coming through, and your daughter's gonna have a better school year in the upcoming school year. So I say like those two things. All right, Jaleesa. Well, Jaleesa, their angels in heaven, their God, their universe, their ancestors, guardians, guides for Jaleesa. If I'm meant to read her, please show me the truth and nothing but the truth so I can answer her question. Will Jaleesa get the job at a Publix warehouse? Will Jaleesa get the environmental senator job? Ooh, at Publix? What was that? Let me see. What was that? It's all upside down. Why don't I like that? Hmm. It looks like you've been waiting for this offer, but I think they're having an issue, Jaleesa. Well, the cards came upside down, so I'm leaning towards no, but this is what the issue is. It's really not a you problem. Looks like you've been waiting to hear back because maybe there's supposed to be some communications, and that communication kind of got stalled. And maybe you're also feeling a bit wary about this because it's like you want to, move on to begin working and doing what you know you need to do for yourself, and it's like you're becoming wary of this like weird communication waiting game. Are you still here, Jaleesa? Okay, you're here. Okay, great. Then I see like the manager, maybe of the actual job or the manager of the Publix franchise. And it's like he wants to offer something very small, very cheap, very small because like they have a budgeting issue. Like they don't have enough. They're having a budgeting issue. So that's the problem around this communication standstill. Where it's like, we'll get back to you and you don't hear anything. And maybe you reach out and we'll get back to you, that kind of dance. Um, they really just don't have it to give is the problem, you know. And what they want to give is very small. Maybe if they have to pay you a certain amount, you're gonna probably do way less hours, something like that. So that's my concern about this. It's like The money is funny, and they're trying to cultivate and see how they can. I think the problem is the people that work there. Maybe they just need to get rid of everybody. Because I don't know why I'm hearing like stealing. Like the people are stealing from the place, which is affecting their funds. Maybe they need to go deep to those cameras and get rid of people. But I don't work there, so I can't say. But the money is funny. And I see what will be offered will be very small. And I think it'll be not necessarily the money, because it looks like they might have to pay you a certain amount, but the time. Something about the time. Um, I don't know, Jaleesa, if you have super stickers, I gotta figure out how to do that. Or maybe I gotta figure out how to do that. Um, Jaleesa, let me see. I don't know if you're also interviewing for other things, but I think you might have to look for something else. Maybe you can look for something else in addition to this, or look for something else to where you're just doing one job, because that one job is enough. But let me see what's happening here with you, Jaleesa. I think I'm just gonna look at like what opportunities for you exist in career. So that one I don't really like for you. Nothing wrong with the job. The job itself is nothing wrong with the job. There's nothing wrong with the job title. It's just what they're willing to offer you that it's not okay. If they're afraid to clean the house, that's another problem. They better get rid of the people over there. They still want to have a business. All right, let's see. Any guidance from Jaleesa's invisible forces about job opportunities, career advice, what's next? I do see something coming in for you. It'll probably take some time, but when you find it, you'll have it for a while, and it's going to offer you a lot of stability, which is something that you need. We all need it. Don't take that personal, myself included. But this is something like you need to help you get to the next level of something else that you want to do. Um, that's what I'm referring to. Yeah, it's like you're gonna save for something because you're trying to get to the next level of something you're trying to do. And not only that, this next opportunity will come with. Let me do it this way. I like this better. This next opportunity will come with like more job security. It'll be more sustainable. It's not something you have to worry about. The 6 months or year, do I have to find another job? No. I don't know why I'm hearing the word office. Is it maybe a hospital or a hotel? I don't know if have you thought about looking in the hospitals or hotel or like a traditional institution, maybe a school, Jaleesa? You have to really use your intuition on this one. Spend time in meditation. I don't know if you like candles, but you should. A road opener candle, you can have a business success candle, or just a white candle, white candle, even if it's a tea light. Just angel universe and God ask them for help. Yeah, because I just institution All right, I'm back. I don't know if you heard that, Jaleesa. So pretty much look into the hospital situation, but there's someone from your past, maybe a former colleague, who can help you get that interview. Maybe they work in a hospital, maybe they know somebody, but check in your networks because that'll help. That'll help. Am I back? I don't know if I'm still frozen or not. I don't think I am. Okay, good. Thank you, Grace. Yeah, because you have things to do. You have things to do, places to go, so we gotta kind of break up what's not working. You need a candle. You need a candle. And I don't even really give candle advice because I don't know what people believe in. So I usually don't give recipes, but you need a candle. And I think what you really need more than anything is a blockbuster. Because I don't know why it's like you have this heavy energy around your career. I don't know, maybe somebody did that to you. Don't think there's not evil witches out here that do hexes, but it looks like you need a blockbuster. Blockbuster candle, or I don't really like black candles. Maybe a gray candle or silver. If you can't find a blockbuster, and you just got to be careful. Make sure you pray, say a prayer for your protection. Because sometimes when people do reversals or when they do a blockbuster, the energy, look, the tower, the energy goes flying everywhere. You don't want anything to hit you. So you got to make sure that you cover yourself up. I think if you read the Psalms 83 is a good, like, I call it a battery because it's like the plus and minus sign in like one thing. It protects you from evil and it destroys evil at the same time. So you need like something like that, like a prayer along those lines. And you do need like a blockbuster candle because I don't like this, Grace. I mean, I don't like this. I don't know why I said Grace. Ooh, Grace, let me find out you need a blockbuster too. But high John candles are good. They are good, but that's usually when you're trying to like conquer something. Like your court cases, that'll be really good for you to use the high John candles. The pink candle will be good to put the judge on your side. The blue candles will be good for justice. So that you'll be good. But I think Jaleesa needs a blockbuster because I don't know. It's like somebody built this tower around you, so you don't get seen. You don't. It's like they don't want you to be seen for anything. I don't know if maybe you're having problems in your love life. Maybe you're not people are not seeing you. Like I don't like that. But they built this tower around you. You need to bust that up. And after you light your candle, blockbusters is usually like a 7-day candle. After you light it, it comes in black and it comes in white. Usually, you can decide which one you want to do. I would probably lean towards the white one. Um, yeah, but you need that. You need that for sure. And then after you light that, look, oh my God, all the big cards are here. Oh, this is great. Yeah, you need that. You need that candle. Look at this. All the major arcanas are here because this is something big. I think someone did this to you, Jaleesa. Because what I see here, even in the former spread, it's like someone paid money to like like a someone who could do spell work. They paid that money to block you. 'Cause I saw that with this card. I said, why they blocked her like that? But you are a very intuitive person. It's like you see things. You see things like visions, or maybe you have very prophetic dreams. So there should be some way that you kind of know what's going on around you. And I don't think they blocked your third eye. Maybe they tried, but they can't. They cannot do that. Like you're very intuitive. You see things. You're a seer. So maybe you have an inkling of what happened. Maybe a man did this to you. Maybe a man did this to you, but why would he do that? Very selfish person. Um, but Jaleesa, do you like that candle? Well, first of all, let me see how the order I saw the cards. I saw the chariot first. I think it's going to be a breakthrough. You're going to see a lot of movement and traction happening for you. That's a great thing. And I also see the hospital. It's funny enough you mentioned that. I mentioned that. And I don't know if you ever looked and thought about doing like the training to become like an EMS. Looks like that'll be good for you too. Like you can do that type of work. Something to consider. You do what you want to do, but yeah, it probably is a bitter ex. He's a nasty person. Very cheap, very mean, very miserable, complain about everything. Just a nasty man. And nasty, I'm not saying his hygiene, but like his way of being, his character. Mean, 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 mean. Very mean. And he did that to you. He paid money to do that to you. What a evil. Anyway, things are gonna move for you at top speed once you bust that energy up. Next is the temperance. Again, like you see the sun. Well, you can say the sun is setting or the sun is rising, but the way I see these cards, the sun is rising. The pathway to opportunity is clear. Um, you may also need to do a spiritual cleansing with water. And you can do that in many ways. Some people like to buy spiritual soaps and bathe with them. Some people sprinkle a little bit of salt in whatever they're already bathing with. Some people say a prayer as they're taking a bath, like, God, please cleanse me of any negative energy. So however you choose to incorporate it. Some people boil herbs and splash themselves, like whatever works for you, but it has to involve water. Has to involve water. Maybe a water sign, because I do see a lot of water elements. You have the temperance, the chariot is Cancer. She's usually a woman of water. I don't know. Or maybe you have a strong water sign placement. Ooh, sorry. That energy of that man. He reminds me of like a troll that lives under the bridge. Mm-mm. Um, you gotta have your strength to do anything because maybe sometimes you feel a little low energy, but it's not you. It's whatever that man sent to you. And it's like they sat on you. I can't describe it, but whatever they did, it's not letting up. That's why you need the blockbusters to kind of like, detonate a bomb, blow it up. Because it's like they're sitting on you. Sometimes people do that when they do evil magic. But you're gonna have your strength back because sometimes you feel a little low energy. But it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with what they're doing to you. And maybe you need some dental work also. And that's also a result of this evil magic. Um, if you need dental work, it's a result of the evil magic they did because what people fail to forget is that when they send black magic to people or baneful magic, it goes to certain parts of our body. And that's where we might have more headaches or issues with our circulation or dental issues or the hair starts falling out or the skin starts breaking out. That's how that stuff works. So that's why we always need to purify, cleanse ourselves, and just stay on top of our spiritual hygiene, which is what the card is telling you. Stay on top of your spiritual hygiene from now on. Make sure you regularly are praying to return evil. Regularly pray to protect yourself from evil. Regularly do your spiritual cleansings. And you're a water sign. That's why I said you got to use water. Talk to the water. Water is a living object. Talk to the water to purify you, to cleanse you, to give you strength, clarity of mind, etc. Ooh, that man was no good. No good at all. No good. Was he from Haiti? I'm just not trying to discriminate. I'm just curious because I don't know why. Or maybe he went to somebody who was Haitian because that's the vibe I'm getting. But yeah, I see you want to move forward with opportunities, and you're gonna have two opportunities, and you're gonna try to think of like which one you're gonna choose, which one fits your life the best, and maybe one of them you might travel. I don't know if you'll get through with the EMS thing because if you do that, and I see the traveling. Um, I watched the post today. Talk to the water your intentions. Yes, you got to talk to the water. The water is life, and the ocean is God. How about that? You got a toothache right now, and it's not my. Oh my goodness, Grace. See how the energy connects? But you gonna get your teeth checked, Jaleesa. I'm gonna do mine too. Cause I need to have a dental issue on this side. But yeah, you're gonna have in the near future, not forever ago, not forever to go, but I do see at least by the fall season, you're gonna have two options, two sturdy options. You're gonna have to decide which one you want to embark on. And um, I see like, oh, this whole experience really is just a wake up call for you to always be close to the angels, to always be in prayer and in communication with them. I do see I don't know if anyone knows, it's like a Jewish holiday. Not Rosh Hashanah. Is it Rosh Hashanah? No, I think it is Rosh Hashanah actually. This is like the symbolic. I mean, I'm not saying this is what this card represents, but for me, it's like the Rosh Hashanah. Because during Rosh Hashanah, I think they have like 40 days where they have to like that's the countdown. We have every day to make our lives right. But within that last 40 days, before the angel blows the shofar, which is what the angels blowing the horn, the shofar, at that time, when the angel blows the horn, it's like time stops for this that moment. And wherever the wheel lands, it decides who gets sick, who will be born, who will die, who will heal, who will get whatever blessing comes towards them when the angel blows the shofar, the horn, and the wheel stops spinning. It's kind of like playing roulette at the casino. And once that wheel stops spinning, whatever numbers it lands on is what number it lands on. So it's just saying like continue to do your good things. So that way when the horn blows and the time temporarily stops and the destiny that is selected for you when that wheel stops right in that moment will always be something good and in your favor. It'll always be something good in your favor because you choose to always do good. But I also see like you're gonna have to answer a calling of some sort. You're gonna have maybe some epiphany or some vision or some dream, maybe something you have to create in this lifetime. And you have to do it. That's it. You have to do it. And ultimately, I see this as you. You're gonna be a okay. You're gonna be a okay. Just it looks like maybe you're starting out in your life in some ways, or maybe you're not starting out in terms of age, but maybe just where you're at right now. But in the end, because this is your last card, in the end, you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna be the empress, so the woman that has everything. And it doesn't always mean that we're wealthy, but we're very comfortable with where we are because we have everything we need. So that is what your angels, your guides, and the universe wanted you to know, Jaleesa. I do see issues with that Publix job because of their finances. They need to get rid of all them people in there if they want to save their business. I don't know if they will, but in the meanwhile, you keep looking. You keep looking and look into something with the hospital. Maybe more than sanitation. Maybe it has to do with like maybe working in the emergency room. You could register to praise patients or EMS. I saw something like emergency room related. So maybe you can check that out. Yeah, you can still join Skybright. Just write your question. Thank you for your time, Jaleesa. I'm going to move on to the next question. I'm glad we're all talking to our water. I want to talk to my water too. Uh, if he's in prison, it doesn't matter. If he's able to pay somebody, or maybe he works in a group. You don't know these people, especially a lot of these big drug dealers and a lot of these gangbangers and stuff. Don't think for 1 second that they're not connected in the dark spiritual realm, because 95% of the times they are. You know, they go to get their talismans so the police don't find the drugs, or they don't get arrested, or they don't get caught for whatever murders they're doing. You know, a lot of times they're killing these people. All those blood sacrifices go to whatever demonology demons they're representing and serving. A lot of these people are very deep in the dark side. You know, and they work in groups. So he could be in jail for 15 years and still have people that he worked with to cast spells. Okay, let me see. Let me go back to the top. I don't know why I'm not seeing the questions. Oh, let me use my other phone. Sorry. All messages. Okay, let's see. We did Jaleesa's question. Oh, your sister. Oh, yeah, because that card could also represent siblings. That is very true. Like someone you know. Yeah, definitely have her look out for you because she can get you. She might not be able to get you the job. That's your job, but she can get you. She can get you in. You know, that first opportunity. Um, AKA the Mystic. Did you write a question in the chat? I don't know if you had a question. If you don't, it's fine. You know, you can just be here. That's cool. But I don't see your question. So if you want to rewrite it, I apologize if you have to, but feel free. Sky Brights, let's see if you had. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm at the top. I'm at the top, and I don't see a question. I just see yes, you're back. Make sure you light that candle. Yeah, just write your question. Okay, there it is. Is there anything that I should prepare for in my near future? Okay. Let me see if I have an Oracle deck that I want to use for that. Yeah. I'm gonna use the should have bought my Oracle of Light cards, but I don't have that with me. But we'll use the Angels of Abundance and then we'll look at the tarot. Or maybe we'll do another Oracle. Let me just do this first. AKA the Mystic. Is there anything that I don't know, sorry, I was about to start, but then my clear audience, whoever speaks to me in a clear audience way told me to spray my hands with rose water. So I'm gonna do that. And I think no offense, Jaleesa, if you're still there, I think that's coming from your people. That negative creature. Okay. Let me spritz my third eye too. Mm, that was some heavy energy. Okay. AKA the Mystic. Is there anything that AKA the Mystic should prepare for the near future? Ooh, the answer came out already. I don't know if it's true, but this is what it says. No more complaining. No more complaining. And maybe the complaining is like not like you're complaining about this or if you're complaining about that. Sometimes we complain to the universe and we affirm what we don't have, and that reinforces what we don't have. I don't know if that makes sense. But complaint. Oh my God, sorry. Complaints are affirm, and that was a siren. So it's like, yeah, alert, alert. Complaints are affirmations of victimhood, which is never truly spiritual, which is true because the spirituality is like knowing that you planted that seed, having faith, even though you don't see the results. So complaints are affirmations of victimhood, which is never true which is never true spiritually. Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedom. With increased confidence and assertiveness, watch these positive affirmations blossom into reality. And look how much has blossomed for this beautiful lady. So much, so much. I think what they want you to know is what you need, you already have within you. What you need, you already have within you. You already have the abundance and the freedom. Take back your power and any limiting mindsets that's telling you that you don't. Maybe you operate from a place of scarcity sometimes. I think we all do. But this world kind of conditions us for it. Um, I'll pull two more for you because oh, and this. And this. Okay. It's like the angels of abundance really want to talk to you. The mystic, aka the mystic. Next card. The next one was actually this. Dreams of abundance. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas, answers, and solutions. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal because they contain valuable insights that will help you manifest your desires into reality. So this is like you in the dream world and all the things that you dream of, but they're not just dreams, they're actual things that you're supposed to implement in your day to day, in your week to week, in your month to month. And then one day you're going to look around and say, in your year to year, and one day you're going to look around and say, wow, I can't believe I did all of this. So absolutely. And I think from what I'm seeing here, I don't know your lane, but it looks like work within a creative space. Something within a creative space. I don't know if it's music, arts. I don't know if you put floral arrangements together. But I do see a combination of like nature elements and creativity, something creative. Something creative. Next is bountiful nature. Yeah, it's hard, aka it's just said than done. Because I do struggle with a scarcity mindset as well. And I think that comes from my upbringing as a child, the family I grew up in. Not saying they're bad, but they also grew up with a scarcity mindset. So it's like a learned behavior in my world. And I do struggle with that. And I've been practicing when I see myself going there, but it's really so hard to like defeat something that feels so second nature to you. So I understand the struggle. Bountiful nature. Spending time in nature helps shift you to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or a hike, time with your pet, meditate under a tree, sit in a garden or under the stars, or do some other activity to connect with the limitless vastness. Maybe you're going to find some inspiration in there because, again, I see you doing something like creative and maybe it's going to be nature inspired, but I do see something creative happening here. Oh, I totally get that. Totally get that because it was my mom too. Um, Next, I saw several vows of poverty, and this is actually what you and I were just talking about. How we have these learned behaviors and we have to undo these things. You know, maybe I mean I don't know. I might try it and tell you how it works. But maybe this, how you do like a cord cutting between you and someone else. Maybe I have to cut the cord because I haven't fully figured it out yet either. You know, but maybe I need to do some cord cutting with that type of mindset. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. But for some reason, that came out of my mind just now for a reason. Just like in your dream space, when you see things that come out in your mind, it's for a reason. You have a very creative mental space, and maybe very psychic. Maybe you see things and you think it's just a dream, but it's something very real. But how do you explain it to people when it doesn't exist in this time or space? I think that's the tricky part. But let's get back to sever vows of poverty. 'Kay, I think this is the answer. I mean, you can try it out. I'm gonna try it out, but I'm gonna do like a little something, and then see how it works. I'm not gonna go all the way in, not knowing what I'm, not knowing how it might turn out or backfire or whatever. So, do a little test. Maybe I might run it through the internet to see like, all right, what do people usually do in these situations? But sever vows of poverty. Dear one, there's no need to suffer or sacrifice. Hold the intention of undoing any vows of poverty or self denial that you may have made consciously or unconsciously in any lifetime. As you do so, all effects of these vows will be undone for everyone involved in all directions of time. I think that's fantastic because sometimes we do come into unconscious agreements with certain things. Whether it's people they might be mean to us or tell us something, we might want to start this thing and we're so excited about it. Someone sees us shining about it and they go, oh, that's stupid. And then we don't do it anymore. And then we come into agreement with that lack, right? Yeah, something like a rebirth here. I see the phoenix, I see fire. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I think I know what it is. It's not like a cord cutting. It's like you have to burn that connection psychically in a meditation or something. I'm gonna try it too. Maybe the next time we cross paths, we can compare notes, see how that went. Because I do see a full on rebirth of you in the most creative and the most I don't care what people think type of way. And I think that's what they want you to know. And last but not least, to answer your question, which was, is there anything you should prepare for in the near future? Change of employment change. Your career path is leading you in a high direction with positive changes to support your dreams, priorities, passions, and life purpose. So you're going to take that money you're making and you're going to plan other things with it. Trust that these changes will help you release the old and welcome the new. You are being supported every step of the way. And I want you to see that you have nothing to worry about. You know, she's riding this horse, or is it a unicorn? A horse. She's riding this horse in the night sky with all the planets in of the universe and the galaxy surrounding her, flying in the air with her eyes closed. Not because she's blind, not because she's being tricked, but that's how much faith she has. That she could sleep on this horse, flying in the night sky, and that she's gonna be safe, protected, and end up going where she needs to go and landing in the proper place in the proper time. She has so much faith that she could sleep with this horse flying in the night sky and carrying her while she's sleeping. And that gotta be you, aka the mystic. Employment change. Employment change. And I think this employment change is gonna lead to some sort of entrepreneurial path that you're meant to embark on. So I hope that answers your questions, aka the mystic, or the question that you did have. All right, I'm gonna go back to the top to see if we have anyone else. Aka the mystic. Sky Bright. Sky Bright, I believe you're next. Let me just see. Um, I don't see your question, Sky Bright. I don't know what's happening to these questions. Sky Bright, if you're there, please rewrite your question and I'll you're next if you're still here. If you're still here, Sky Bright, you will be next. I'll just like give you like 10 seconds to get your question in. In the meanwhile, I will see who's after Sky Brights. Oh, I see the question. Never mind, Sky Bright. I see your question. I've been training for something for the past few months, wondering if you see that starting to take off financially over the next few weeks. Let's see. I've been training for something for the last few months. Okay. The angels in heaven in the celestial realm, the ancestors, the good ancestors, the Sky Bright, her family, her guides, her guardians, her deities, God in heaven, and oh wow, I just did like three flips of the deck, and I saw the magician, the nine of cups. You're gonna be very satisfied with what this is really good. Hold on, and then I'll shuffle and do it for you again. Please show me the truth and nothing but the truth. For Sky Bright. Yes, you have been training for something. And not only are you training for something, you're becoming a master of it, like almost expert level, like one of the best ones to do it. Um, thank you, Sky Bright. One of the best. I see the wish card. You're gonna have your wishes, whatever they are. Maybe it's a couple different things related to what you're training for, but I do see you're gonna be very content with your wishes. I do see that. And you're gonna be very proud of yourself because it's like you did this. Like you did this, like a self-made type of vibe. You did this. You know, you want to collect all your trophies and say, "Oh, that's me." Oh my goodness. And I feel like maybe you want to be a little isolated um in this energy, but I think it's just one of those situations where like, not everyone can come with you to the top type of things. So I do see like some isolation, but you're gonna be fine. I don't see any problems. I see the Empress here. Um, Very comfortable, the woman that has it all. So I do see that. But let's see your question specific. Oh wow, dropped out about finances. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I see no issues with the money coming in. Are you gonna have the money? The answer is yes. But what I did see that jumped out and then went back in, it jumped out and went back in. Um, Wait, let me read your question. I've been in hermit mode as of late, but yeah, because you're locked in, you're focused. You're focused on your craft. That's why you've been in hermit mode. And as you should, because it's like you become an expert at what you're doing. And what you're doing has a lot of value. And it's not something that everybody could do. You gotta learn know how to be skilled at this. Um One thing I did see that peeked out and then it went back in. I'm gonna need you to first of all look how beautiful all these cards are. With all the yellow backgrounds and the one white background. You a shining girl. You a shiny sky bright. I see why you're sky bright. You are shining. Oh my goodness. God bless. But what peeked out for me that I didn't like, I don't like that either. Okay. Fair warning. I didn't like this card. It's a card of like leaving. Um usually it's not a happy ending. It's usually one that um come from some sort of like emotional thing that happened. Maybe the person was forced to walk away or chose to walk away. But either way, I see like some jealous competitor here. Maybe someone sneaky. Um, Maybe they want to be in an alliance or partnership with you in relation to this thing, but my spirit is not trusting it because initially when I saw the star card, it was upside down. And so like the card of destiny, this is you working on on your stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but this person, they're tricky. They want to come in and like twist around what you have. So be careful. I don't know if it's a romantic partner or some like person that wants to do business or join with you or some sort of partnership or alliance, but the answer is no. And if you stay firm on your boundary and just focus on your craft and you don't have time, they will go away. But don't let them go away and mess you up at the same time. Let this person go away because they have no other choice. But with the way the moon looks here, it's like the moon is saying, "You stupid shit! You think I don't didn't see what you were doing? I know all your secrets." It's like what the moon is telling them. I think it's a him. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe, but it's like the moon knows all the dirt that they do. Remember, a lot of people practice moon magic too, and they think the moon is not counting and keeping score and collecting data. The moon is like, "I see you. I know you for your works." So I'd be careful with that. You don't need a partner right now. Maybe never. I'm not saying you can't get married and date and all that, but when it comes to what you're working on, you don't need a partner. You got this. Maybe you never need a partner. Maybe there's some things you might be able to outsource, like, okay, can you make 10 copies of this? Or whatever it is, but you got this. You got this. You're a one woman army. You got this. So you don't need any partnerships because all they want is not good things. And what you have is like you're sitting on a gold mine. So I don't want you to mess that up. Not because you mess it up, because you open the door for someone to come in and do that. If they're so great and talented, they need to go focus on what they're building for themselves. All right, let's see. So I hope I answered your question, Sky Bright. And let's see who's after Sky Bright. I think next is Sabby. Next is Sabby. Welcome, Sabby. What is Sai's current feelings for me? And then PJ will get to you next. What is Sai's current feelings for Sabi? I'm happy to hear that, Sky Bright. What is Sai's current feelings for Sabi? What is Sai's current feelings for Sabi? Last but not least, what is Sai's current feelings for Sabi? Looks like he has good friendly feelings, but let's see. Oh my god. Yes, there is a pause in communication. It's suspended. It's not happening right now. But I do think I don't see like hate or malice. Maybe there was some disagreement that led to this pause in communication, or maybe not seeing things the right way, or maybe their own internal tension that they're dealing with. Um, but right now they're trying to work on seeing things from a different perspective. So a lot of the silence and lack of communication is not like beef. It's more like, you know what? I need to go within myself and start to see things from a different way. Start to see things a different way. Because I think within whatever happened, that tense moment, Sabi had a like an epiphany. And that epiphany is leading him to or her to go within and look at things differently and think deeply about things. And you can only really do that in solitude. So right now it's like, silencing noise and distractions. Not saying you are, but just stepping into more silence to be able to like see what's real. And I see that epiphany. He's gonna see things differently. Gonna see things differently. Because I think a part of the problem is why does this keep happening? Like that's a part of the thought process. Like, why does this keep happening? And then like the aha moment is like you're missing the lesson. That's why it keeps happening. You're missing the lesson. So this person is taking the time in to like learn the lesson. So that's what's happening right now. Um, I think this person's having a little bit of a hard time in a good way. In a good way. Because they're surrendering. They're surrendering to the will of the universe, which is very hard for them to do because they look like a pretty stubborn person. But they're learning to kind of let go of the grip and just like let things be sometimes. Let go of the need for control and just allow things to be. And it's hard. It looks like it's hard for this person because they're stubborn, but they're learning to be in flow with the universe. Like the universe is not working against him, but maybe because he's so controlling and and wants his way, he doesn't see how things are in flow with him, and he's working on it. Easier said than done, but he's putting in the work. He's putting in the work, trying to master his self. Wants to be a better person, and maybe shed some of the behaviors that he's realizing it's not working for him. So don't take the silence. It's not really beef. It's just this person has to fix themselves, and they know that, they realize that, and they're putting the effort into doing it. um, so I hope that answers your question, but advice for you is just keep living your life. It's like you're that girl. You're that girl already, so keep doing you. Keep being creative. Keep coming up with new innovations. Whether it's like I'm gonna do my hair like this or my makeup like that or whatever it is that you do, keep doing that. Keep doing you, because you can't make this person come around faster. than what is destined for them and what they're ready for. And he's actually doing the work. So it's like what they call it, shadow work, the dark night of the soul. That's the journey, and he's on the journey. But you're not meant to be on that journey with him. You can be the caring and supportive friend for sure that checks in, but you got to do you. You got to focus on your life. Oh, sorry, feelings for you. Um, see, oh wow, oh wow. Um, feelings for you. We'll start with this card. He really likes who you are. Very elegant, sophisticated, glamorous, stable person, maybe even self-made in some ways. He really admires that about you. He thinks it's just so beautiful. And I know you all are friends, but this is like the card of marriage and the cards of like marriage and family. And like he sees you as like the wifey type. Like if he was to marry someone and have children with them or create a family, like go down that path, you'd be the type of person that he would want to do that with. He sees you as the wifey, as like wifey material. It's just like right now, he's not that ready. I'm not gonna call him an F boy. Maybe he has F boy tendencies because that's what this card is showing me. Someone here for a good time, not a long time, but they're really trying to work on mastering themselves. But he thinks the world of you, thinks very highly of you. But I think the issue is that you're an empress and he's a knight, and that's the disconnect. You're an empress and he's a knight. An empress is it's hard to match with. An empress can't even really match with a king. She needs an emperor. She needs an emperor. There's only one emperor in the deck. There's four kings in the deck. There's four knights in the deck. That pool is pretty big. But to find an emperor is not that easy. It's not impossible, but it's not that easy. It's hard for the empress to match with someone. It's like he knows that he's not at the level he needs to be at to be with you. And that's why he's not crossing that bridge. And I honestly think you should respect him for that because a lot of I don't want to say men. I don't want to make anyone on bad. A lot of people kind of get into pools they don't know how to swim in. No one they don't know how to swim in it and waste people time and cause heartache. And he's not trying to do that. He's not trying to do that. But if he today had to choose someone to get married to, it would be you or a woman like you. Um, but he just won't approach you in that way until he feels that he is the man that you can be, that he can be for you, that you deserve. So I do believe you know that's the issue. You're showing up as an empress. He's showing up as a knight. You know those energies don't go together. But he does think very highly of you, and he does see you as like the wifey type. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah, that's what I see. The Knight of Wands is he likes to have fun with the girls and move right along to the next one. Yep. Well, I hope that answers your question, Savvy. I'm gonna move on to I think it was Jay. Who's next? There was somebody here with a question about prom, which I felt like I answered before in another reading, but I'm willing to answer it. PJ, are you still here, PJ? You're welcome, Sabi. I hope everything works out. I think it will. You're gonna find a distinguished gentleman. I don't think it's gonna be this guy. I don't see that. but someone who's very established in his own right. Maybe water sign or has strong water placements. I see water and air sign, like water and air sign. All right. PJ, are you still with us? Okay, great. I'm gonna answer your question. How do I heal my emotional attachments to this certain person? We'll call the person R. I'm having issues trying to heal, but it isn't working. How do I heal my emotional attachment to this certain person? I'm having issues trying to heal, but it isn't working. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry to hear that, by the way. Um, I am actually going to pull from the Oshun Oracle, and then we'll look at the tarot for you. All right. Oh, like I should have knocked those cards. Oh, I'm sorry. Dear Spirit of Oshun. Okay. Dear Spirit of Oshun, please guide this Oracle deck because this deck was written in your honor to help me find the best solution for our friend PJ to heal his emotional attachment from, we'll call the person R. What advice do you have for PJ? Wow, this is the second time this card came out today. I'm gonna pull another one for you, even though that was the answer. But let's see what else is here. Any advice on how PJ could heal their emotional attachment when it comes to the person R? Anything else? Oh, okay. You said take the first one, and I did. Okay. Okay, the first one, PJ, actually came out earlier today. It's the Oshun of mercy, forgiveness, and empathy. Mercy, forgiveness, and empathy. And what this card talked about earlier, and it has the same meaning now, you have to give yourself grace. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. Don't bottle it in. Let it out. Let it flow out. But just be kind to yourself. You know, don't say, oh, I was stupid for believing this, or I should have left sooner, or whatever negative things and harsh things we tell ourselves. Tell yourself that, you know, you trusted this person and you are supposed to trust the person that you love and care about, but he just wasn't the person. And maybe next time when your spirit tells you, your intuition tells you to pay more attention, you will. Maybe next time when I feel the need to speak up about something and clarify my boundaries, I won't hesitate. Because when I do not stand up for myself, when I do not speak up for myself, when I do not take the steps I know I'm supposed to take, this is how it affects me in my heart, in my heart space. So it's like when you give someone feedback. That was great, but next time try this. You got to do that with yourself in the most loving way. So a part of you being able to get over R emotionally is by giving yourself grace that, you know, not blame, not shame, not guilt, not blame, but giving yourself grace that you did the right thing with the wrong person. You did the right thing. You didn't do anything bad. You did the right thing. It just was with the wrong person. And maybe where you can take accountability is where you might have overlooked your boundaries, where you might have overlooked your self-worth, maybe where you might have overlooked, you know, your own voice, you know, and never compromise yourself again for anybody. It's just a lesson learned. It's just a lesson learned. It hurts. It hurts. But you're still here. And it was just a lesson learned. We're on PJ, JV. But you also had that same card, so I understand. Oshun of shame and regret is the next card you have. Guilt, remorse, self-loathing. Guilt, remorse, and self-loathing. We just spoke about that. It is all right. It is all right. It is okay. We all made that mistake before. It's not the end of the world, even though it feels like it. And you will rise again, from what I can see here, especially with the peacock. But one practical step looks like you can get some support. And I don't know what support looks like for you in your world, in your reality. I don't know what support looks like. Maybe it's crying with a good girlfriend, just bawling, going to mom and just letting mom hug you. Someone you don't even have to talk about what's going on. Just holding space together. Maybe it's a therapist. I don't know what it will look like for you. Only you will know that. But you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You need support and you need encouragement. Um, but I'm gonna read that from the book for you, PJ. 22. Oshun of shame and regret. Shame is a heavy and petrifying emotion that keeps you trapped in the past. It operates at the lowest vibration, limiting your ability to manifest positive outcomes and attract more negative experiences, kind of like where you are now. By confronting shame and choosing self-compassion, you elevate your energetic frequency and open the door to a brighter, more empowered future. What to do now? Confront the uncomfortable feelings and memories you'd rather forget. This shadow goddess embodies guilt, remorse, and self loathing that could haunt us and eventually affect our behavior and relationships. Your past does not define your future. Everyone makes mistakes and has regrets, but endlessly punishing yourself serves no one. Take a closer look at the burdens you've been carrying and consider just laying them down. Embrace this opportunity for transformation. Keyword. Oshun of shame and regret may be discomfort, but she also offers you a chance to release your past, free yourself from the shackles of guilt and self loathing, acknowledge your mistakes, which we just talked about, and learn from them, and commit to a path of self compassion. It's only up from here, PJ. You know, as the saying goes, it's only up from here. You didn't do a bad thing. You just probably didn't use enough discernment and pay enough attention to when this person didn't deserve what you were offering. So no more are we gonna not speak up when we're supposed to. No more are we gonna set a boundary and let people cross them or not set boundaries at all. We're done with that. We're done with that. The path forward is you honoring yourself. You teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat you. It's not easy. This is not easy work. It's not supposed to be easy. But the way out is to have that self compassion and a commitment to honoring thyself. And there was something else in here that yeah, it says like when you confront shame and when you confront shame, it's like you're blaming yourself. You're evaluating the situation and saying, where could I have been more compassionate with myself? I didn't like that thing. I had that one feeling. I really didn't like that. I let that slide. Tell yourself you're not letting those things slide anymore. And that's going to bring you, according to this card anyway, it's going to elevate your frequency to a point where you don't feel like you're in the place you're in now. So once your energetic frequency rises, you're going to feel better about your emotional states, your circumstance, etc. But if you stay in this victimization, woe is me, You know, I'm never gonna trust anyone. Like the more negative you pile on, that's the more you're gonna attract to yourself. And you will start to see things going wrong. Don't let this make you bitter. Let it make you better. All right. Grace, you can put your second question and you'll be last. So JV, if you have another question, if I can find it in the chat, great. But if not, just you can drop it again. So I'll do JV next, and then I'll do Grace. If JV has a question, you'll be after PJ. All right, let me see if the tarot has any guidance, PJ, about your original question, which is healing your emotional attachment to the person we'll call R. How does PJ heal their emotional attachment to the person we'll call letter R? What can PJ do to heal their emotional attachment to the person we'll call letter R? Ooh, 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 ooh. Sorry, that jumped out from taking them. Yep. First things first. Oh, first things first, give yourself grace and compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Next, Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to solve this in a day, step by step, step by step. If today you had a great day, awesome. If tomorrow is not the best day, that's fine. You had 4 good days in a row emotionally, great. The fifth, sixth, and seventh day sucked. Okay, one step at a time. It also looks like you can benefit from also some sort of like spiritual cleansing with water. Ask the water to uplift you, change your spirit, um, clear your mind, clear your heart from what you've been through. Um, yeah, maybe you could add a fragrance to the water, or maybe a soap that you use that has a nice fragrance to it. You don't really need like some people might need like certain recipes. You need like a fragrance, something fragrant that that you use that's not harmful to your skin. So if you have a soap that you use that smells really good, you can use that and just talk to the water. Or something you might use on a special occasion, use that because you need it. You need it. Next, begin to look at your future. Begin looking at your future. Maybe there's a place you want to travel to. I think you want to relocate. I don't know if it's based on this incident or situation, or maybe it's always been a dream of yours. I'm getting the vibe that it's always been a dream of yours to either travel, see the world, but definitely I see like a relocation. And your guides, your ancestors, your deities, they're urging you to start looking at that. You're gonna have so much to plan for that move, if that's something you want to do, because it looks like this move might be international. Looks like more it might be an international move. You're gonna have so much to plan for that you're not even gonna have time to wallow over R. I'm gonna just be real with you. Something on your horizon you got coming up, either a travel or a relocation to another country or somewhere where you live now that's a little far away from where you are now. Um, you want to move out of the job he works there. See, so whatever this move is, you have so much planning to do. You're not going to be able to even focus on that. So start looking at that. I don't know why I see relocation for you, like moving. Maybe that's something going to happen in your future and you don't know it yet. Um, NSF, I will take your question, but I'm gonna write now that the list is closed and I'll pin it. But I didn't pin it, so in fairness, I'll take your question. Okay. Next, I see you're gonna get a call. Oh, this is supposed to be. You're gonna get a call. The call is that this is the wake up call. This is the wake up call. It was kind of happening. This has nothing to do with R. This is everything to do with you learning about you. That was your wake up call. And oh my God, you gotta. Oh wait, can I show this? Let me just cover up. This is the world card. This person is naked because they are so liberated. They're so liberated. You are going to be liberated from this issue. This issue was meant to bring something out of you, and it sure will. You're definitely going to make sure you're ferociously protective of yourself, but it's protection in a way that's still like loving and inviting and warm. This is not going to make you bitter. It actually is going to make you better. And you're going to feel more complete of a person when this happens. Um, wow. What a blessing for you that is. And I should have known it was something big because you had five arcanas, major arcana cards, or four. So this is like this had to happen as a part of your, I guess, cycle of destiny to bring out the version of you that was always in you. But this had to happen to kind of crack you open. Um, so yeah. Okay, so JV's question, want to have children but so single. Well, with modern technology, you can literally just have a child. But I understand, you want the father to be involved and all that stuff. Even though you meet somebody and have a child, there's no guarantee what the person's gonna do. So if your goal is motherhood, there's a lot of ways to achieve that. But I do understand what you're saying. So let's look at JV. JV wants to have children, but is single. So let's see about JV's path to motherhood. I don't know why, JV, but I heard maybe you should consider freezing your eggs. I don't know if you have. I don't know if that's something you can look into. If you're in the US, oh my God, the Empress flew out, which is the card of motherhood. Yeah, you're gonna be a mama. You're gonna be a mama, and the Empress usually has everything. She usually is married and stable job. You are gonna be a mama. You are gonna be a mama. I don't know when. It is coming. It is coming, but it's at the bottom of the deck, so it's gonna take some time to arrive. But it's coming your way. If motherhood is what you want, motherhood is what you're gonna get. Oh yeah, I think it might be a boy child. And girl, get ready because he's gonna be very curious, very adventurous, very independent, a lot of high energy. Just start looking at all the boy mom videos because I definitely think that's gonna be your world. Maybe he's gonna like the sports and the athletic stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're gonna have a baby. You're gonna have your baby. Um, but yeah, if you're able to work with a medical team to preserve your fertility, it just gives you more options according to the cards. Gives you more options. So instead of you waiting around and so on and so forth, look into it. Look into it. If you're in the US, I don't know about all states, but I know I live in New York and our health insurance covers egg freezing. So look into what your health insurance can do. I think even Medicaid, if you have Medicaid, I think they cover egg freezing. And there's some really low cost clinics also. There's financial aid, there's scholarships. So it looks like it's just like try to reserve that. Try to secure that. What happens though with egg freezing is that when they unfreeze the eggs, some of them live, some of them don't survive. So maybe by the time they get to the root of all of that, you have your baby. You have your one baby. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe he'll feel like maybe him one might feel like you have three children because that's what I see. Very energetic boy. And maybe you will have more children. I don't know. But I do see the boy here. Oh my goodness. So go make that appointment. You said they do cover it, make that appointment. Go preserve your fertility today. Because it's better when your eggs are younger, and it's better to have a plan than no plan. You're waiting on time. A lot of women are having babies in their 40s, and it's even easier to do that when you have eggs that you can work with. So if they allow you to maybe do one or two, uh, I don't know what they call it, like procedures to conserve your eggs, do it. Do one. And if they're going to pay for you to do another one, do another one. Make sure you're eating healthy and taking your vitamins because, the health of the egg is really important to being able to conceive a healthy child. So just do all of that. You're already 40. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. 13 rounds of IVF with no success. I'm guessing you're thinking after the daughter that you have now, you did 13 rounds. But maybe you weren't meant to have another child with that person. Maybe you weren't meant to have another child with that person. And you should see Grace too if you have any eggs left. If you have anything left in the bank, because I did see another child popping out in them cards. But great, but oh, you had. Oh, Grace is saying she had hers at 40. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, girl, go make your appointment as soon as possible, and go collect those eggs, as the card said. Go ahead and collect those eggs and save it. Collect those eggs and save it, because one is going to be like a lucky egg, and that's going to be a child. But I definitely do see motherhood, so I wouldn't worry about that. All right, let's see who's next. But I think Grace, I would agree at 40, she probably should do IVF. But I think the issue is, she doesn't have a partner, and she probably doesn't want to use a sperm donor. So I think that's the issue. And if that's the case, let her freeze her eggs. You know. But I do think IVF would be the way to go. She just, unless JV, somebody, maybe a homeboy or maybe someone you dated on and off, where he's cool enough to be a dad. Maybe you could go a sperm donor route with someone you know. But I'm getting the vibe you don't really want to go that route. So you could definitely freeze your eggs, and when you meet someone, if you want to try IVF, you can do that too. You can try IVF with your current eggs in your room, and you have frozen eggs you can unfreeze and do IVF with. The world is yours. You're gonna be a mom. I do know that. I do at least see one. Okay. Let me see. I think Grace, you had a question. Okay. About your ex-husband and you constantly fighting. Will he ever leave you alone, or is this something deeper? Okay. I don't know why he's making my throat itch. Mm. Maybe he's just one of those miserable people. Misery loves company types. But let's see. So Grace's ex-husband move on from fighting with her. Will Grace's ex-husband move on from arguing and fighting with her? Will Grace's ex-husband move on from arguing and fighting with her? Will Grace's ex-husband move on from arguing and fighting with her? Um, he will, but it's gonna take a while. What I see at the bottom of the deck is the hangman. He will, but it's gonna take him some time to see things a different way, change his behavior and his attitude, It's gonna take time, but he will. He's gonna realize how much of a darn fool he was for fighting with you. And he's gonna feel very remorseful for that. But not now. This is still down the line, unfortunately. You know? He's gonna move away from that behavior after he realized how much of a jerk he's been. Very impulsive, jumping to conclusions. Just a quick, hot tempered, and just impulsive, like a chaotic person. Um, and when he realizes that, he's gonna move away from that behavior shamefully, and then he might even realize like how much his behavior contributed to the marriage not working out because he really wanted y'all to work out, you know. Deep inside, a lot of his fight with you is coming from the fact that he's not with you. Because in his heart of hearts, he might look like this sometimes, but inside, this is what he wants. Like he wants his marriage to work. He just didn't know how to get out of this character sometimes. But he is gonna learn from it. He is gonna learn. He's gonna do better, or as better as he can do. But and maybe he's going through that now. Maybe he's going through that now. Like, dang, you know, this is really not serving my best interests. This behavior is not serving my highest purpose. Look at where it got me. But this is the deeper issue. He wanted his marriage to work. He wanted to marry his marriage to work because maybe you don't believe it, but he really deeply loved you and he married you because he believes in marriage and family and he really, really believes in the union. And it actually did bring him a lot of happiness. Sure did. Sure did. So yeah, he wanted to take control, but he's chaotic. That was just a part of his chaos, wanted to take control. He know good and God darn well, like he is not the person for being in control and in charge of anything. He knows good and God darn well. That was just a part of his chaos at the moment. That was part of his chaos at the moment. Um, I actually did see that he was financially controlling somewhere here in the cards. It did like pop out, and then I shuffled it and went back in. But yeah, this is the root of his issues. He just wanted happiness in his marriage. He was the reason why it didn't exist. He was the reason why it didn't exist. And he's looking at himself, reflecting like, oh snap. He's having a lot of aha moments. It's like one aha moment after the next. One aha moment after the next. Does his family have money? That's kind of what I'm seeing. And I think maybe some of it was not because I think it was more of a learned behavior. His love of money more than us. Like it looks like a learned behavior. It looks like a learned behavior. Maybe they didn't teach him in the right way certain things, you know? And that money is not everything. And all sorts of lessons around that. But it looks like his family has money. He comes from money. Um, but I do see that. Something with his family schema about money, you know, and status. They're really like big on that. Money and status. But I do see you're gonna be okay. You wanna get married again, Grace? Just make sure you know what you're doing, girl. I'm not saying I see anything bad. I'm just saying. But I do see quickly the situation you're in with your ex is gonna resolve quickly. Like it's probably near the end, or it's probably gonna wrap up soon. But I do see in terms of time, you're not gonna have to like go through this anymore and like much longer. You're gonna have your wishes. You're gonna be happy about it. Um, yeah, you're gonna be content with your independence and feeling a whole lot more financially stable, and being in your singleness. But then I also see marriage again. I see marriage again and family. Marriage and family. Maybe there's gonna be children, stepchildren, and maybe they're gonna get along nicely with your daughter. Might see marriage again. But you just gotta make sure you're getting it right this time. Not saying you're getting anything wrong, but for you to put yourself back out there emotionally, financially, and all the things when marriage happens, you just want to make sure like the deal is sweet for you and with a sweet person. But I don't know. So it's like the second time I saw like love life and marriage for you. Second time, Grace. Okay, let me get to the last question of today. Wait, where's this from? We did JV, we did Grace. NSF. Did we do NSF's question? NSF, I don't see a question. It's been so much chatter in here. Oh yeah. Okay, I got you. Bivon, we're closed for questions. We're closed for questions. I did write that. No more questions. We are closed. My phone's about to die also. If I can squeeze you in, I'll try, but we are just letting you know we're closed. So, am I on DW's mind today? Okay, let's see. Is NSF on DW's mind today? Oh, thank you, Grace. Is NSF on DW's mind today? Is NSF on DW's mind today? I'm gonna work on it. Is NSF on DW's mind today? I think when I get to a certain number of subscribers, I can monetize and get super chats. But maybe in the next few readings, I might start charging. But it'll be nothing crazy. Maybe like $5 for one question, etc. I haven't decided my structure yet. So okay, let's see. Um, is NSF on DW's mind today? See it. Oh, I see happy thoughts. Yes, you are. Maybe you felt it, NSF. Maybe you felt DW thinking about you. But yeah, and I saw it's like happy thoughts. Let's see what else comes out. The future or expansion. Oh, okay. Um, I don't know if it's a relationship that ended. And some things end before they even start. um, but I do think this person was thinking about the future with you or expansion. Sometimes it could be like maybe how do I fit this into my life? Or do I see this fitting into my life? Could be one of the thoughts. Next, next is I guess what didn't happen right in the relationship. Um, I guess it didn't end well or it didn't get to go anywhere. Um, but this is the person, they do like you. They do feel a bond, a spiritual soul level bond and connection with you. It's deep, like a deep connection. But this person is just, I don't know. I don't really see. Well, another question is not all about that. Your question was more about just did the person think of you? And yes, CW did think of you, and it was happy thoughts related to the future, how this connection could possibly work in the future. And maybe they also had some thoughts around what is stopping the connection from happening, or if it did happen, what sabotaged it. So I hope that answers your question. That was the chat. He had a crush, but in a situation, probably know how to do it. He probably don't know how to fit me into his life and is trying to plan it. Yeah, because this looks like the card of like expansion and planning. Um, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't see it being completely over with the other person, and maybe he's just reflecting about what he wants for his future in general. Is he gonna go it alone or is he gonna go it together? Because it does look like to me that in his current situation, he's the one sabotaging the connection. And maybe he's over that. Because maybe he has a good something with this person too. And he's also waking up to that as well. But his thoughts of you is very positive. But he's just looking at his life and trying to figure out why does he sabotage good connections. You know? I don't think he's in a bad relationship per se, but there is some conflicts, because of him. And he's the problem, if I could be honest, you know? And the person he's with is just praying that things will get better. Uh, well, I hope he wakes up. And as for you, let's see for you. Okay. Okay. I don't like the energy around this connection for you with DW. I know you didn't ask me, but when you said that he probably doesn't know how to fit me into his life and is trying to plan it. Oh no, honey. We are magnanimous queens and empresses. He needs to fit into your life. Okay. Um, and what I'm seeing here is just these energies around this partnership, which is really not good. So it's like winning at all costs. And you're right, there is somebody else involved, but it shouldn't have to be like a competition. It's like nobody, you know what I see? If this continues, no one's gonna win. And everyone's gonna go their separate ways. It's like a winning at all costs type of situation. And like, if you're a bad bee, you ain't gotta even be in this situation. Like, this is not a situation for top tier women. This is not the situations. Yeah, you can find yourself in any situation, but this is not one that we choose to commit our time and energy to. You know, but I do see that if this were to continue the path it's on, no one's gonna win. No one's gonna win. No one's gonna win. And it looks like the person that he has in the picture now is gonna be the one that ends up hurt the most. And he may even go after that person because he feels bad. Not because he necessarily wants to be there, but because he feels bad. Next, I do see a lot of like conflict, confusion, secrecy, betrayal energy. You know, not cool. It's not cool. Not cool. You know the saying, sometimes you win them is sometimes how you lose them. And it's all surrounding but something that's supposed to be beautiful. But is there a connection? Yeah. Is there chemistry? 10,000%. All the things are there, but the conditions are not set up for this to be successful. You know, maybe it's the right person, wrong time type of thing. Right person, wrong time type of thing. But what I also do see is that there is an opportunity for you, like, but not with him. Like once you're able to release this, you're gonna see there's an opportunity here with somebody else. And look, I don't know for sure, but it looks like, once you're able to fully let this situation go because it's toxic, you'll meet someone that will lead to something like a high level commitment. And high level commitments could include living together, engagements, marriages, things like that. Um, I do see betrayal here, girl, with the moon. The Ten of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords, the Five of Swords. Like this is not. This is betrayal energy. You know, this is betrayal energy. And sometimes you don't know. The cards are very funny. You don't know how something will play out. Maybe he hasn't done anything in betrayal to you. Maybe it's been to the other person. And let's say somehow you and this person are able to get past all these toxic things happening and you make it, then betrayal starts happening again because, like I told you, pattern of sabotaging good relationships. They're trying to figure out in their own thoughts they had today, why am I like this? Why do I ruin good connections? So if this is a pattern of behavior that they're working on, why would this pattern of behavior skip over you if they haven't worked on it, if they haven't mastered it, and you're with this person? You could be the next one to end up like this. So don't just fall in love with the potential of who someone could be. Sometimes we have to look at the reality and say this is what it is. And if it's like this today, yeah, it could definitely be like this in 10 years. And is that something? Is what I'm dealing with right now how I want my life to look? So although we can fall in love with the potential, we have to deal with the reality that is before us. And a lot of women we do that. We get wrapped up in the potential and end up living miserable lives because the reality is not what we thought it would be because the person is not living up to the potential we see in them. So that's it. If you're able to let this throw this fish back in the sea and let him swim, the universe will not forget about you. You will find that one and there will be a high level of commitment. But it's all up to you. It's your life. But that brings me to the end. Let me see if I can squeeze in that last question about the test score. Bivan Jojo, you're done with your exam on June 21st, and the results should be declared in mid-July. I don't know if I don't understand your question. Is my selection possible? Do you want to retake the exam, or are you trying to figure out if you passed the exam? Can you clarify that question, Bivan? Just ask wifey, were you here before? You can ask your question. Just ask wifey. I was giving Bivan a opportunity, but I don't know if they're here or not. So just ask wifey. You can ask your question, and then we're out of here. But if my phone dies before I answer everything, then just try to join us next time. All right, just ask wifey. I'm waiting for your question. I'll give you another minute, another 30 seconds. Okay, there we go. Thank you for the subscription. Question: What's the vibe of John the Leo towards me now after today? Okay, and this is the Leo card. But let's see. What is the vibe? What is John's vibe towards Just Ask Wifey? What is John's current vibe towards Just Ask Wifey? Okay, that feels a lot better. What is John's current vibe towards Just Ask Wifey? What is John's current vibe towards Just Ask Wifey? Let's see what the cards say. Okay. I see the Queen of Wands, someone who's just magnetic, beautiful, the fashionista, the sexy mama, but also very intelligent, deeply spiritual, knows your moves before you can even figure it out. And not afraid to speak up. Actually, probably very bold in telling the truth. Oh, yes, Sag, that makes a lot of sense. because it looks like some truth was told, and maybe it was sharp or a little harsh, but it looks like some like the plain truth was just like put out there. But let's see, how does he feel? Um, I would say based on these two cards, before I pull more, the person is not offended. They actually understand you, and it was kind of expected. I think, like, yeah, that was some hard shit to hear, but it was the truth, is what I'm hearing. Um, but I think they understand you, so they understood why. They understood why. They understand you. So your sharp truth, although it was like, dang, like, ouch, it pinched me. They know that it's not coming from a malicious place because they understand you. Um, I would say probably initially upon hearing this truth, he felt maybe a little resentful, like, who she think she is telling me this? When did she get off telling me that? But then it was like a cup of truth he had to swallow. Like, he had to realize, like, you know what? Maybe this person's a little stubborn, but they had to realize, like, nah, like, that was factual. Um, Maybe this person had some, like, I'm sorry to say this. Maybe they had some clownish ways. You just have to check them on their ways of being, and it was long overdue. I feel like, maybe you spared this person in the past, but they got checked good and proper, and they do feel away. They're withdrawing a little bit because, maybe ego, manhood, all of that pride, all of that could be hurt right now. But oh well, this is you. Oh well. You're that girl. I love that. I love that. I love that energy that you have about you. You're like, oh well, the truth had to be said. But I do see if DW really internalizes what you said, and instead of being a coward like a child, immature child, and sulking about it, the minute he finds his strength, it'll make a better man out of him. And I really think a lot of what he needs to do is just drop his childish ways. But that's what I'm seeing. Someone who still act kind of childish. Like, no, it's time to grow up. It's time to cut the shit and let's grow up. And I see that. I see that he can. I don't know if he will, but I see that he can. The potential is very strong. But he has to want to have grace for himself and take control of his life in a way. He has to have more control of like his own self. And then I do see he will become a much better man, more composed, more emotionally stable, very thoughtful and in the way he does things, especially from a place of not being so reactionary, maybe thinking before reacting, thinking before speaking, not lashing out, just being more in control. Yeah. But I hope that answers your question, just ask wifey. I'm gonna go. It's getting late. I do have still have some work to do, and my phone's dying. But I'll definitely try to come back on soon, and we'll do this again. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here.